and welcome. This is Ruth, and I'm back today with the final roundup of all of the clubs that I've got from Spellbinders for February 2025. Now, I've got a preview video, and then I've got separate videos for the Better Press, the large die of the month, and the small die of the month. And then in this one, I'm going to show you through the clear stamp and coordinating die set of the month. I'm going to show you the gorgeous little free gift with the caboodle kit. And then we're going to have a look at these two embossing folders as well. So we've got the 3D embossing folder and the ordinary embossing folder. It's really, really gorgeous stuff. And I think I've got something really cute coming for this one in a moment or two. But first of all, I just want to have a look at this one. So this is called the Spring Smiles. And you can see here, I should just set it on this. You might see it better. On this. So we've got bright days ahead, warm Easter wishes, sending spring smiles, springtime magic enclosed, and step into spring and hello. And we've got two gorgeous little bunnies, two little chicks, and some flowers and some foliage. And I've already used some of these sentiments on separate cards before, some of the other samples. I've actually, I'm just going to show you through these. These are the cards that I've already made. So you can see that's the sentiment from this die set here, stamping die set. There's the embossing folder on the back there. These are the cards that I've already made with the club kits. Bright days ahead, and that was a computer generated one there. And then, well, I hope you go back and have a look at those if you haven't seen them, because the kits for this month are absolutely fabulous. Anyhow, I am going to stamp out the little bunnies and some of the little chicks and get on with making a card with this. I've already got all of the bits and pieces ready for this one, so don't go anywhere. You want to see this. I've got a cute little idea with that, and hopefully you'll enjoy that too. But let's get cracking. I'm just going to stamp some of these out. Don't forget, while I'm sorting all of that out, that if you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, not only does it keep you up to date, but it really helps my channel along. And also that my affiliate links for everything that I use will be down below in the description. So subscribing doesn't cost you anything at all. And when you use my affiliate links to buy something, it gives me a little commission, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. So that really helps me, and I do appreciate it. But thanks so much. I'm going to do some stamping now. You saw me there just running a little eraser over the top of the stamps, and that was really just to take the little film off that, because whenever they're new, sometimes there's a little film residue, and if you sort of wipe it off, you'll get the ink to take much better on it. Now, I'm just going to go ahead now. This was Memento ink that I used, and I'm going to use some alcohol markers now to colour these, and then we'll die cut them with the little dies that are enclosed as well. Aren't they just so beautiful? Little bunnies and little chicks and the little flowers. Just two more to cut out, but I had to cut this one first. That's why I'm showing you that now. You cut out the center one first, and then when you take that die off, you can put the other two on. So I've got all my little bits and pieces cut out here, and I've got a top fold A2 card, and I've got some lovely sort of bubblegum pink card to go on the top of it here. I want this embossed with the 3D embossing folder. That's going to look really, really gorgeous with those little bows on it. But I want an aperture through it, so you've got to cut the aperture first, and I want the aperture through the card and the embossing folder. So what I'm going to do is just lay this on here and tape it down with some lightweight tape, something that's not going to mark. I've got some Craft Perfect tape here, which is just hopefully will do the job well. And I'm going to lay this down like that. Make sure it's properly centered, like so. And then I'm going to die cut through both of those. When I've die cut through the two of them, then I'll be able to come back in and just remove this one because it's not properly attached. And then I can run that through with the embossing folder, and then glue it back on top again. So that's all I need to do to hold that on, and then now place this on just exactly where I want it, so probably about there, sort of even between here and then leaving me a little gap at the bottom as well, more or less just centered on the card front. So I have a vision in my head of what I want this to look like, but I'm not too sure if it's going to work. So bear with me. If it doesn't work, you're not even going to see it. But right now, I'm going to try this. So I don't know if I said or not, but the die that I cut the aperture from was with the Perfect Touch arches. These will be available in a day or two. The 10th, I think, 10th of the month. And they're really gorgeous. I know I've used them a lot, and I do have another one sitting on my desk that I'm going to use in my next card as well. But it has cut me this aperture out here from the card and my folder, then my little piece which I embossed. And I want to just, I'm going to glue that on, but not just yet. So I am going to, I don't even need that there just for the moment. I'm going to glue that right inside there, and it's going to be just exactly in behind. See there, just exactly behind that aperture. So just grab some glue and get that into place first of all. I've actually got two pieces and I don't need this one, but that will be handy for something else. I hope this card works because it's nice inside my head, but I need it out. Does that make sense at all? Oh dear, there we are. So now I want to cut a little slit across here, and all will become obvious in a minute or two, but I need to do that first. So it's really just right across there, and I need to take this off camera because I haven't got my glass mat on my desk, but it's literally right across the bottom of that, just from one side to the other, right there, right through the card. I'll be back in 2 ticks when I've done that. See there, just that little slit. It's right through to the back of the card. Now I have taken a piece of card which measures, now bear with me because I do use a sort of flip between inches and centimetres, just whatever is handiest at the time, but this piece of card is 6 centimetres long this way, give or take a little bit. It'll not really matter if it's a size that suits you better, but 6 is going to suit me fine, and it's just about a sliver, you can see there, just about a millimetre narrower than the aperture. And I'm going to take one of these end pieces here and just chamfer off a little bit like that and like that, and leave the other one intact. So it's now going to look just like this. Now this should be really, really easy, but we'll just check. All I need to do now is put glue along here, pop this in through here, and just make sure that it's properly in position there. You can lay that down, and just make sure I can have that on camera for you. So it's right up to that fold, because this piece has got to sit like that, and just press that down. So Now we've got this piece, and now you'll see why I've cut the slit, because, sorry, I'll turn it up this way for you. You can just take this piece that I have chamfered here and slide it right through that slit. And then this little piece folds over at the back, and you've got a little shelf card. So it'll stand up like that. But then whenever you want to fold the card flat, you just open that out and it'll fold flat like that. Yep, it's turning out just the way I had hoped. So now I can go ahead, and the reason why I put this on here was because I can now go ahead and glue this over the top, and it covers that. I could have put it inside, but it was much easier just to align it when I put it over the front like that. So that is going to go on there. Now the stage is set for our little bunnies and little chicks. I'm enjoying this far too much. I really am. Now, I was just trying this to see what this would look like. So I'm going to attach these little bunnies together. So what I want to do is just slot them together like that. Possibly even just like that. Whichever way it looks best. So whichever foot you want forward. But I do want those little flowers forward. So I think I'll just put some glue on the edge of this one's little toe, and then up here at the whiskers. And those whiskers and the toe will get they'll just go in behind there. And then I need to just make sure that they're both level at the bottom. Right, now all will become clear in 2 ticks. I need one more piece of card, and it's just going to be a little slitty piece, I think, a little strip. This piece will do. And this then can go on, probably here would be fine. I'll just cut it, and so long as it doesn't protrude past this, but it does hold these, we're good to go. So I am just going to put glue on here where the 2 little bunnies are attached to each other. Glue this onto the back of it, and you don't want it, if you've got a little piece there like I have where there's a little gap, just make sure that doesn't come up above that. You want it hidden. And then we're coming back to this piece here. I want these little rabbits to sit down in here, so I'm going to come back here and make a little slit which is just the same width as this. Now you could put a colour on there, a piece of card. I'm going to leave it white, but what I want to do is just mark with my pencil where I'm going to cut, and then I'll go back with my craft knife over to my glass mat and cut that just the way I did at the back as well. So probably about the middle of that and just about there. So set it on just about the middle of here and go right across there, and then I'm going to go back with my craft knife and cut that, and I'll be right back. So there it is with the little slit in it, and there are my little rabbits with the piece of card, strong card. Now that's 300 GSM, so that now then just fits down through there. Push it right down and just make sure that this isn't any longer. This piece needs to be shorter than this piece, slightly, and then you can go ahead and just, I'm getting excited because this is turning out well and I like it. Just put that down in there. There we are. Oh, it's so cute. You know, this actually looks even nicer than I expected, but I just love the way you can use this piece from that and all the rest of it, but I do think it needs a little bit of greenery on here. I could have covered that whole piece in there with green before I made the slit, but now I'm just going to make the most of it by putting a little strip of green card right across the front there. So I've just cut a little bit, enough to cover that, and that will go right in there. Now, because those rabbits or those little bunnies are on just a flat piece of card like that, there's not a problem at all when you want to shut that card. It'll shut down flat. You just pop this up, pop that down, and there's your flat card. Look, flatter than a pancake. So, next we're going to decorate the rest of it. I'm going to add the little chicks on, and I'm going to add the flowers on as well. So I just want to pop that back in there and see exactly where I want it, and we'll go from there. So I think this little birdie is obviously looking that way, so he's going to go there. This one is going to go here. We'll start off with those. And then down here. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? There we are. Two happy little bunnies and two little chicks in the front. And to me, that sort of helps the scale of that look together, because obviously chicks are quite a bit smaller than the rabbits, I think. So they're in the foreground, and that's everything works fine then. That may not even be important to you, but it was important to me. So now we're going to put this on here, and I just want to glue it on like that. I think we'll go from there. Yep, that looks nice. And I'm going to have some of these coming down here. I might actually just nip that off, and yeah, I'm going to nip a bit of that off and pop that in behind that flower just before that dries. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And this little one then can just go across here. And I'm going to have it standing up slightly just so that it's not too flat. It will come up just a little bit there. I stamped out sending spring smiles because that really does send spring smiles. I think it makes me smile anyway just looking at it. And you can see here that I've actually cut it with one of these dies. These are from the Vivid Expressions Better Press plates. So it's got lots of sentiments, and then these dies that cut them out. And you'll usually find one to fit something that you've stamped out. And I just had a little look through there and found this one. So there we are, and I'm going to pop some 3D foam pads on this and then just put it along the bottom there. And that's it, all finished, and I'm really, really happy with it. Don't you just love it when you have an idea and it all just comes together? It doesn't always happen, believe me, and that's why I'm so happy tonight. So there you are, the Sending Spring Smiles. I've popped that up in 3D foam pads, and there's quite a lot of dimension in that, but the embossing folder itself with all that dimension just makes that look so, so pretty. And there we are, that's that little card finished. So now I'm going to go on to the next one, which is making a little card with the Kit Caboodle extra die. And I really was enjoying cutting out all these pieces and getting all of this ready earlier. So I'm just going to show you. It's quite simple, but I had a little idea that I really, really liked, and I just wanted to share it with you. You might have done this before, but if not, bear with me and just let me enjoy myself and you enjoy watching. So I've the basket weave embossing folder and some craft card, and then on to some green. And this time it's going to be a very flat, straightforward card. Not much cutting at all, just that gorgeous little chick. I think he's called Pip, if I remember right. And that's going on there. Oops, there's his little beak. This is a beautiful little set of dies called Landscape Edges, and they're from On the Farm, which those will be available on the 10th of February. And I can't get enough of them. There's 3 dies in it. One is a grass edge, one is a sort of a hillock, and then there's these clouds, and you can use them for so many different things. I've been having great fun with them, and I think you're going to love them too. So my sky, you can just alternate them about here. In fact, I've cut 3 different pieces out. Now, this is so small, I'm not even going to worry too much about that, but just carry on about there. My little chick will probably cover quite a wee bit of this, but it's nice just to create a little background anyway. Do you know why I'm going to use another one? And these are the other 2 I cut out from the same die set. So and there you have it, a lovely little sky. I use sort of a pale turquoise for my sky rather than blue, but you know, that's maybe just what I'm using at the minute, and it could be blue the next time, but I really love that sort of pale aqua kind of shade for a sky. Now, back to my card, and it's a top fold, and I usually check that I've got it the right way up before I go any further, because I have been known to attach pieces and have the card upside down. So there we are. That's that, and we're almost ready to roll now. I'm going to assemble the little chick. So I have cut him out in glitter card, so yellow glitter card. This is tonic card, and I'll put the names of it down below. I actually thought that the eyes weren't visible enough through that, so I put the little pieces of black in there. They're actually the dies that you would cut the little cheeks out with in pink and pop on here and here. But I put black in behind there, and then I've just given that a little poke across just to make that line a little bit more visible. And it's not too visible, but it's visible enough, I think. So now to find where I put those little pieces. I have the little cheeks cut out, and now I don't even know where they've gone, but I'll find them and we'll come back to that. There's one, and the other should be there. So I'm going to assemble all of this. I've cut the little chest piece out. Hopefully you can see that there's little debossed lines showing you exactly where these have to go. So I've cut that little yellow piece out for there. I've cut the little beak out. That's going on there. And then this one, and there's another matching one somewhere there. And I'm going to pop that on here. And then the little feet, and that will go on in behind there. And you'll see it all in just a moment or two. That's all the pieces that are in the die set there, all these little pieces, and he's all assembled, and I've actually got 3D foam pads in the back, but I'm going to leave that off for just a moment or two because I'm going to create a little nest for him. Now, I made one earlier, and there it is, and that made me probably too happy for a grown woman. But I'm going to glue it on there, and then I'm going to show you how I made it. There you are. It is really, really easy to make, and really, really quick and easy to make, but I just wanted to try it out first, and I thought it looked rather good, so I'm going to show you what I did. Now, I've got this little piece of mat here. That's from Susan's Flower Kit, I think. That's where I got it anyway. And I have got some craft card here. I've got my guillotine, and we start off just by cutting some little very, very fine strips and slivers of the craft card, just like that. I don't actually need too many, but I'll probably cut more than I need, and then we'll go from there. As always, I always cut too many. I always cut too many of everything, and then I just pop them into the back of the bag. If I have too many pieces of this, I'll pop them in there, and then next time I come to use that, they'll be there ready, and I'll have a little head start. So here are all my pieces, and I just want to chop them up pretty finely. I'll put them onto this mat, or even just any piece of paper, anything at this stage. I just want to cut them into pieces, and they don't need to be the same size, so don't worry about that. Just go with that. We'll come back and sort those pieces that are flying off in just a minute. Yeah, that's about fine. I think that's probably all I need. I've got some glue here, and I'm just going to put a generous amount of glue down in a kind of a little arc like that, and then take all these pieces and pop them right on here and create a kind of a little, sorry, I ended up with a little sentiment stuck to my finger. That's what stopped me in my tracks there. I'm going to just lay these down. You don't even need to be too careful with it, just like that. And if you find any bits that there's a bit there that's probably just a bit too thick, I can slit that up and just make it a little bit finer. Don't worry too much about it because birds' nests aren't that tidy, I can tell you. So in like that, and just press it down. And you're wanting to make a kind of an arc shape. Have it something like this. I may have cut that stuff just a little bit finer, but it doesn't really matter. I've just sort of poked that into shape with a pokey tool and made it kind of curved. And then the great thing about this little mat is that it's perfect for just doing that. You can press it down and make sure that everything is really, really well connected. And then when you lift that off, you can go in below that. You don't even need to do this because it peels off really easily afterwards. But if you want to get it to dry just a little bit quicker, just lift it off that and move it to a part of the mat where there's not so much glue and just set it aside. It doesn't really take too long. I actually went off and had my lunch earlier, came back, and my other little nest was ready. So that's all you do. And then this glue just rubs off at the end. You've got a little nest and you're good to go. So I'll set that one aside. That's my second one, and I have now got this one right on here. Little chick on 3D foam pads, and there he is on his nest. Do you like that little idea? Then I've got bright days ahead. Oh, I should just remember, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and let me know. And you can leave me a little comment down below and let me know if you're as daft as I am and if you're getting as happy over these little cards as I am. But there you are. Bright days ahead. And I think I'm going to add some flowers and some foliage up around the top of that. And then we're good to go. I just stamped the same flowers out that I put onto this last little card and put them in exactly the same way up at the top there. And I've got one here. You see it there? I've just put a little 3D foam pad up in the top there. And I'm going to put some glue down this way. And the little chick is going to hold that little flower. One last thing, I'm just going to add some, this is crystal glaze, and I'm just going to add it right over the beak there to give him a shiny little beak. And that's it. Bright days ahead. I love that. It's just such a beautiful, cute little image and everything that goes with it. But Spellbinders have done a fantastic job yet again with their clubs, and I love them. So there you are. That's the two little cards that I'm making in this one. So you can see there both of the embossing folders. I think I've covered everything now, as I said earlier, everything that's in the kits, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So I'll be back soon with some other things, but I'm going to let this crystal drops dry. I'm going to go and have myself a cup of coffee, and then I'll take some photos and finish off this. But do have a little look. Stay to the end of the video if you like, because I always put up lots of photographs of different angles and different things so that you can get a better look and a close-up look at anything you want on all of the cards I make. At the end of every video, there's loads of photographs usually. So thank you once again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit that notification button. Anything you can do that would help my channel along, I would really appreciate it. And thanks so much for watching anyhow. In the meantime, happy crafting. Bye bye.